Les belles filles qui ne sont pas belles, les beaux fils qui ne sont pas beaux. 504 comme un vieil Peugeot, comme un pro quand je pose le flow. Tôt ou tard, one day, on va nous séparer les vrais du faux. Je suis pas comme les autres, pas comme les autres. À chaque fois, je me sépare du lot. Tout le monde genre sur les réseaux, mais faut faire gaffe quand tu parles de Joe. Yeah, ça fait voir mon cerveau. Faut faire gaffe quand tu fais des propos. Si tu penses avoir riche, mon niveau t'as l'eau dans la tête à la place du cerveau. Yeah, ça fait voir mon cerveau.
Okay, then no problem. Now you guys can go on
Je me lève très tôt, entre toi et moi, y'a même pas photo.
Inshallah, the link is live. Let me share it now. But if anyone is subscribed to Topo Spaces, you probably get the link.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Connecte ta tête à ton cerveau, le mental et tout se passe en haut. Y'a tombé le charisme de Rico. Cerveau, la vie c'est pas facile au ghetto. Tout le monde finit par
so that I can still send to you guys if you want.
Ton flow est des 0 sur 10. Tôt ou tard on va sauf que prise. Congo Liban la tête délice. FK ne fait pas de chimiste. Donc c'est Joe qui n'est paire de tennis. Maintenant on vise que les actrices avec les nattes comme Ali.
Yes. So let me send to Jules. Let me send to Raoul. And we can share on our social graph so people can join. We can warm up onto the join and then we'll start talking either sense or nonsense or we have to talk.
Ça fait voir mon cerveau. Otine les bois ici c'est pisse. Devant toi c'est le tsunami, mais devant moi elle est très soumise. Yeah, ça fait voir mon cerveau. Big up à Chavez, big up à Idriss. Faudrait
We can't gather all these four solid men, yeah. And they will talk nonsense. The only thing that might happen is that somebody might get intimidated or somebody might be angry. That's the only thing about this.
But I know one thing for sure.
Yeah.
I know that I'm gonna get gray hair from over wisdom.
The legends like Ndel and Isaac, I mean, come on, man, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So,
So Jules, man, you were in ABU. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in Nigeria, this guy here, Jules, was in Ahmadu Bello University,
Now, I'm an
Zaria.
Abu Side, man.
He's at the Abu Side. And Abu Side is naturally ahead of you. Yeah, man. Raoul, how do you like that? Brian, how do you like that? That's
Man.
my alumni slogan. And
Man.
Abu Side is naturally ahead of
Naturally
you.
ahead of you. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Okay.
my mind is blown. My mind is blown about that because, like, with the current affairs in Cameroon and Nigeria, I'm kind of stuck in the middle. Because, for example, we'll be building like a Topo studio and
Nigeria?
theater, in Nigeria, in Abuja. So
Okay.
yeah, so and my experiences in Nigeria is amazing. Like I feel like I'm given an opportunity to express myself, you see, and then we'll put this studio there, and Isaac, thank you, and we'll put this studio there and theater, and the idea is that like Jules or Rahul can leave Cameroon and fly to Abuja. We chat. I will be going there very often. You see, we chat, or we can chat with Akon. Invite Akon. I tweeted Akon once to invite him to this show. I knew that he wouldn't reply. So that 10 years from now, when he will come out, tell him that, man, I wrote to you 10 years ago, man. You see, so that's the idea
I know
about
someone
that.
who knows him personally.
Oh, wow. Mashallah. Then you can probably link us up then.
I can arrange that.
Mashallah. That would be amazing, yeah.
Thank you, Raoul. So,
Yeah.
so you see,
I know
this
someone who
meeting
knows him
cannot.
personally.
So, Brian, you see, this meeting cannot be. It must be a sensible meeting. So you see,
Yeah.
now we have second standard on the house. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say I know him, but I know someone who knows him. So
Yes, that's good enough.
Man,
It's good enough.
in mathematics, you know him because they say if A relates to B, B
if A
relates to
equals to
C.
B and B
A
equals to
relates
C
to
means
C.
A equals to C.
Yeah, so transitivity. Yeah, and actually, we use that a lot on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? Like the whole Facebook. Hey guys, have you guys shared the link? I'm about to share it.
Yeah, I've done. I've shared
okay.
mine.
I've
Yeah.
shared it.
Have you shared the link? Let me see. Am I
So,
supposed to go to my Facebook?
yeah, you can, but let me see if I can tag you to and it will appear on your wall. So
Yeah,
that yeah.
my Facebook and I find. Trying to only messages.
Yeah. To talk about. So I'll share with you guys too. So when a couple of people join, then we can really start talking stuff.
I mean, I feel great, you know, coming on this show I'm meeting somebody, a Cameroonian, who went to the same school with me, Amadou Bello University, Zaria. Yeah, I can. It is the premier university in northern Nigeria. When it was being built, we're told that Amadou Bello, who used to be the Sultan of Sokoto, the head of Muslims,
Sokoto. Yeah.
yes, he gave them a free land and said they should build from Zaria to Sokoto.
Wow.
That's in build as much as you can. And we also heard that the federal government handed to them a blank check, just build the school. The school is an edifice, man. Given in Niger level, you need to see the school, you need to see the buildings, you need to see the design and all of that. Very lovely. I hope when Jules comes back, he's going to talk about it. So I feel already very connected. I feel very happy meeting Jules here, and I know all the ABU followers. Most of the guys that follow Topo Spaces in Nigeria, quite a number of them are from our alma mater, Jules. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of guys coming today to show excitement, to be happy to say that despite the issues that we're hearing, that some of our brothers are saying that they should not play Nigerian music in Cameroon.
Nigerian music.
I hope that from you guys today, we really get to understand what are these issues, where are they right, where are they wrong, because I believe that they will not just be talking, there must be some logic, and maybe some sense, and since we are all Africans, and my presence here with Jules also testifies that we are one, and also the fact that Topo Spaces is loved in Nigeria. I am proud to say that Topo Spaces is loved in Nigeria, and to say that Topo Spaces is a brainchild of a Cameroonian, which is totally now accepted in Nigeria without any cross. Come on, man. We are together, man. We are one. When I see Brian's forehead and that of Raoul's forehead, they look like those people from Akwa Ibom. So man. So it's just political boundary. So I like to know, man, what is the problem? Why this is the problem? Why won't we jam Nigerian music in Cameroon? What did they happen? And Abba, wait till they happen. Oga Juice, wait till they happen now. Wait till they happen.
That why you ask my Jules. Now Jules the entertainment. Now me, I don't lay that side, so I'm not looking for talk.
well, basically,
Jules is a decision maker.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He's the movers and shakers of our industry. So if he says something, it means it's fact. It's valid.
All right.
Me, I'm just a listener. I listen to any music that makes sense to my ears. So.
Good.
No man, Del is just trying to act modest though. Good. Well, basically, I just think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and people are getting it wrong, and that information has been misrepresented or relayed by Cameroonian bloggers who don't understand what some Cameroonians are actually clamoring for, because. Personally, on a personal level, I know that cultures don't live in isolation. You understand? Cultures are bound to meet, they are bound to interact, and they are bound to influence each other. It's a normal thing. You understand? Yes. What some of us are clamoring is just prioritizing our content, because our local content, because we have a young industry that's coming up. We used to be great back then, Isaac. We used to be like number one in Africa.
Yeah.
We used to be like number one, but for the last 20 years, we had some recession, and we are getting back on our feet. So what we are saying is that there has to be a level of protectionism. How do we protect ourselves from the giants? You understand? It's a nationalistic thing, and what is nationalism is more does not mean we undermine the other people's efforts, or it doesn't mean we don't appreciate what other people do. No, everybody does protectionism in one way or the other. Everybody practices nationalism in one way or the other. Even the U.S. practices a form of nationalism against superpowers like China, Russia.
China, the head boy.
Self-conservation.
Yeah, so China too. The thing is, it's just trending because Cameroonians have just woken up from their slumber, and they're like, "Hey, we need to be nationalistic, else we're going to lose everything." And you know, the culture of a people is the basis of development. So what some people are saying, maybe they didn't come off right, but what they're saying in a nutshell is, guys, let's be nationalistic, let's prioritize, let's play 70% Cameroon, 30% rest of the world. Nigeria does that, America does that, China does that, everybody does that. That's what they're saying. So nothing wrong. Nobody's saying they should not play Nigeria. I mean, every year we have like 4 or 5 Nigerian artists coming to Cameroon, and it will not end today. It will still keep going. You understand? But what we're saying is give as much value to local talents too, just like you do with the Nigerians and the French artists or the Americans that come over in Cameroon from time to time. That's what they're saying. So that's just it. It's nobody's against Nigeria, man. We're brothers. We're all brothers.
Good to hear that, man. It's good to hear.
We're brothers, except when it comes to a football match.
So don't bring that one.
That's part of the dream.
When you people came to steal that trophy in Lagos, that
I bring that one up, man. I just had to.
That thing is still very. We're in Nigeria at that time. If you say we'll see you for enter you that deal.
That's 2000. That's 2000. My younger brother was there. That's 2000.
Okay.
And that goes to tell you that Cameroon is one of the. Even when I was in ABU, I could stand and argue with the whole of the campus. You understand? Because Cameroonians are very tough when it comes to the mind.
Yeah.
You cannot intimidate the Cameroonian. Yes, Cameroonians are very tough. That's why they are the only ones that can come over in Surulere and win a cup in Nigeria and go back. They're the only ones that can do that in Nigeria.
Nothing happens.
I mean, you can boast about that and get away with it. I mean, since you guys successfully did it, but it was a political gift now, you know. It was Issa Hayatou that did it now. So
I mean, since you guys Nigerian blog, Issa Hayatou, man. And it's kind of funny because I feel like Nigerian blog, I feel like a lot like Issa Hayatou. I was like, what did he do? It's not like he's the one who.
What did he do?
He come and play.
You people are not aware. You were not aware that Issa Hayatou was influencing all the matches. You didn't know, especially
I wasn't doing that.
But if you go back today and with goal line technology, you watch that very match, you know that Victor Ekpeba's penalty was a goal.
There was no goal line thing. It's the same argument between I think it's Germany and England. The Frank Lampard goal in 2006.
Yeah,
it was a goal, but it was not a goal. So like, there was no technology then. Whose fault is it? Our fault? No, it's not our fault.
Of course you have to enjoy it, right? You have to enjoy it. But we know that it was stolen from us.
We are milking it.
Yeah, and you are lucky, and because we are so friendly, we love Cameroonians as our younger brothers. You see, we didn't touch you people. You can imagine the whole of Lagos wanting to pounce on you people. I wonder how you would have gotten out of that place.
I remember my auntie was in Lagos in 2002, where I think Senegal beat you guys in the AFCON. I think it was quarterfinals or so. And she said in Lagos there was a whole poster, a whole billboard that says, Papa Emeka, you know Gladstone and Senegal beat us this time. It says if we've been a Cameroon high, then it was at least better than Senegal who beat us this time, but not
Cameroon.
Yeah, I think it's more to you know, if you're an ardent follower of football, right, especially the Nations Cup, you know, you will see that Cameroon always beats Nigeria when it matters the most.
When it matters most, yeah. So
when it matters most. I don't support Cameroon in the World Cup.
3 times.
Even when you guys did well in the 1990 World Cup, I don't support Cameroon. No. I don't support Cameroon. Like Africa. No.
You want to come to Boya?
As long as Nigeria is out, I can support like Egypt. I can support like Zambia, but not Cameroon.
I think recent statistics have shown us that you have like 5 million Nigerians living in Cameroon. Cameroon has a long history. Cameroon has a long history with Nigeria You understand? They have a long bilateral relationship that has been existing for centuries. They are part of Nigeria today, was part of Cameroon before 1961. We're talking about places like Yola and Taraba. They used to be in northern Cameroon. You understand? So we have a culture that has always interacted. My grandfather was married to Nigerians. My grandmother is from Akwa Ibom. She's from Ikwatipene, from Akwa Ibom. You understand?
Even me too. Even me too. I'm the only one in my family who hasn't in Nigeria. Like I have cousins who are like Nigerians. Like they were born in Nigeria by a Nigerian father with a Cameroonian mother. So we have family house in Lagos. I can go to Lagos. We have family house at is it Ikeja? Is it Ikeja? Ikeja. Ikeja. Yeah, we have a house there where my sisters went to school at time and tide in Lagos. All my sisters went to school at time and tide in Lagos. So everybody in my family has been to Nigeria except me. So
So
we have that relationship.
Cameroonians don't have any problem. It's important to rectify that. They don't have any problems with Nigerians per se. Cameroonians, the issue Cameroonians are raising is among Cameroonians. Like, guys, let's fix our mindset. You understand? You have to understand. One of the things I learned when I was in Nigeria is about being a nationalist. That's one thing I learned in Nigeria. That pride. If you look at my posts on Facebook, I'm always talking about the Black consciousness. I'm talking about selling or valorizing your own. You understand? What is yours? I learned that in Nigeria because I did a couple of courses back then. I did a course called African Communication Systems, Nigerian Communication Systems. That taught us basically that before the coming of the white man, we had well-organized economic, political, and social systems that were actually working for us. You understand? So that thing changed my perspective about how I see life. I don't have any complex in front of any race, any country, anything. You understand? I just learned to be proud of my own, and then learn to defend my people's interests. So what some people are saying, maybe they're going about it the wrong way. What they're saying is, guys, let's be nationalistic. Let's empower our own. You understand? Because we spend a lot of time cherishing people from outside and neglecting our local talent and local industry. So what they're telling people is, let's try to encourage what is Cameroon. Let's try to prioritize what is Cameroon. Let's try to defend the Cameroonian interest and agenda. I mean, in the midst of globalization, that's what they're saying. We should not get lost in the global warfare. Yes.
You shouldn't be sucked in. You know, and I'm just listening. I'm just wondering, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm just listening, and I'm just wondering. In this world of globalization, with the internet that has broken down all our boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, how do you check the interference or the consumption of foreign music? In your nationality, within your national background, within your national boundaries, and consume more of yours. What are the forces, that would make this possible? You know, are you saying that you're going to the legislative and make policies that say, okay, there's a policy today, the law today that says 70 play only play 70% music of Nigeria, of Cameroon every day on your FM radios, and play only 30 from all over the world? Is it like
the laws are there? The laws are there. The problem is the issue we have is just they are not implemented. That's all. That's why there's this clarion call, and they are trying to wake everybody up, because the laws are there. They're clearly written, clearly stipulated. But the problem we have with most African countries is implementation. The laws are not just implemented. So what we're saying is,
if I can say something, on a pure follow-up point of view, I believe it's more about time. You understand? Like, there was a time where it was Ivory Coast. It was like Ivory Coast, like, you go everywhere, was Kupedi Kale. That was
yeah, when we're UV, man, we used to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
UV, man.
man.
Everybody just made, like, at that time, everybody could wake up in Ivory Coast, take a DJ name, sing whatever she wants to sing. I would dance to it, man. We had DJ Stefanwa, DJ this, DJ that. And I believe it's all about time. And I think like this is Nigeria time because it'll be extremely difficult for us to enforce that. I believe so.
No,
I
it's
believe more
difficult.
about collaboration.
No, it's
I
difficult.
believe more if we collaborate like the time of the after the Copernican era that ended around 2007, 2008 because it was like from 2001 if I'm not mistaken 2008 everything was I think Arafat did featurings with so many artists.
J Martins.
We had Lino Versace doing collaboration with so many artists. We had Duke Saga, he did collaboration with so many artists, both Ivorian and other foreign artists, which actually increased the profile of the music of those various countries. So I don't know how that will be enforced, but I'm just trying to say that it's just like Nigeria's time. Like I'm a big fan of Afrobeat. Like from the Afrobeat other fella to the Afrobeat of now, I am a big fan because what they did was they went back to their source. Like at that time, the only people we know from Nigeria were downfoot drivers and African China, right? That's the only people who know from Nigeria at that time.
Let me situate everyone, like especially Isaac, because when I was in Nigeria, Nigerians used to the one so much about them.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why.
Why would a Nigerian man have inferiority complex to anybody?
Good. That's where I'm driving at. So basically, I had to rectify that, and I had to school them a lot on that, because normally by virtue of their population, their landmass and everything, they feel, and Nigerians always call it Cameroonian like a younger, but Cameroonians will never accept, because going on statistics, going on facts, culturally, Cameroon had a bigger cultural musical heritage in the world before Nigeria. You understand? Because prior to, if you take away Fela, and maybe if you take away Fela and King Sonny Ade out of the picture, prior to that, Nigerian music was only consumed in Nigeria.
But why would you even take them? Why would you want to take them away?
No, it's to make a point. No, it's to make a point.
Why do you want to make that an essential? Do you want us to also take away the heroes that the names of the names of the heroes you want to mention?
Mashallah, Isaac, you agree with that?
I'm driving at some. I'm trying to make a point.
Go ahead.
Yes, my point is Cameroon, alongside DR Congo and Ghana have a very massive cultural heritage in Africa. Very massive.
You know why? Jules, sorry to interject. My tribe, for example, Oroko people, histories that we left Congo, went to Nigeria, settled, crocodiles beat one or two people, then we went to Cameroon and settled. So, and I remember in one of my courses, Contemporary World Philosophies, I came across the idea of the Abakwa people in Cuba. So they have Ekpe, and Ekpe, the Libyan people have Ekpe, the Oroko people have Ekpe, the people in Calabar, in Nigeria, they have Ekpe. So we share the same dialect, that dance now, where they have the color. Yes, exactly. Bayangi, all of those. So it stretches right to Cuba. And the people are there today. They even used to come and interface with, So just to say that Congo and Cameroon, the match is natural because perhaps some people emigrated from there. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
So musically speaking, if you take Fela out of the Nigerian stuff, Fela was King Sonny Ade, I could list you like 20 top Cameroonian artists that were global before Nigerian artists. You understand? Like that influenced major African pop culture, because prior to Afrobeat, you had Congolese rumba and makossa that used to dominate Africa. And that's why Nigerians don't know the difference between makossa and dombolo today. They call everything makossa.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah. Because makossa was so much massive.
I was surprised about that.
Yeah, they call everything makossa. They call everything makossa.
We call everything makossa.
Yes, but it's not. Correct, It's not. It's different. There's Congolese rumba, like Awilo doesn't do makossa. When Nigerians think he does makossa. Yeah, Awilo does Congolese rumba. You understand? Awilo, Kofi, Olomide, they do Congolese rumba. That's what they do. You understand? Now makossa is a different. Makossa is what people like Manu Dibango, Black Steel, San Fantoma. I mean, that's a whole. Then we had this recession. When we're having a recession, Nigeria now had a new cream of musicians that were coming up. People like Macmillan and whatever they used to call them Darfur drivers though. Then you had Style Plus.
I don't know their names actually.
Yeah, that Macmillan or something. I forgot the name.
Macmillan and I don't.
Mountain Jack and Mountain Jack and Mountain Jack.
Mountain Black and Macmillan or something.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mountain Black
guys,
and
easier.
Yes. Then you had Style Plus from Abuja.
Style Plus,
yeah.
China.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
African China.
So those are the people. Those are the people that paved way to the new Niger movement, and then Niger now suddenly became.
You didn't mention the God. How about the plantation boys?
Plantation boys, yes.
Those are the solid men. How about Idris Abdulkarim? Idris might watch this show.
Idris. Let me send him the link.
Idris Abdulkarim, what's that their name?
Let me send to. Yeah, let me send to Idris. Let me send to brother Idris actually.
The Remedies.
Yeah, the remedies.
Yeah, the remedies were before the plantation boys.
Yeah, the remedies were before the plantation boys.
Before these downfall drivers, their Style Plus, and all of that. Chocolate City.
Yes, these are the guys.
Let me send the link to brother Idris. Maybe he could join if he wants.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
These are the guys that. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying these are the guys that paved way to the new movement, and it's a welcome idea because people like Two-Face sold the African dream. They made everyone believe that we could actually make it.
I bought his first CD from Nigeria. I had my sister bring it for me from Nigeria 2005.
Yeah.
I can say I was probably the first person to play it on radio. I can say that confidently in Boya. Like when I first heard this Glass to Grace album, I can sing almost every song on the Glass to Grace album in 2005. My sister was coming from Lagos and I said, go and buy me that CD. I think she bought it like 2,500 naira, something like that.
Wow, that's quite expensive.
And I traveled with it. I was going to Sweden. I went to Sweden with it, and I made South Africans and foreigners listen to Two-Face. Like during a concert we had, we played if you know Bagao, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Still man can
So that's how Niger actually came into the map, and since then, the guys are running the show. It's an awesome idea. You understand? It's great. What we're saying is, it's awesome. What we are saying is Cameroon is a major stakeholder in African entertainment. So we cannot have the posture of a small unknown country. No, we have a rich cultural heritage.
I hope that you are not dwelling. I hope that you are not dwelling in past glory.
No.
Yeah. Because what I want to say here is that we also have that issue in Nigeria. We had it when the music was coming up. Like me, some of the music that you guys, I am 100% hip hop. I listen to Tupac, Biggie Smalls. Those are my people. And we face a lot of criticisms here. And what we used to tell them is that produce quality content now. Let your content be at the same par with Biggie Smalls and Tupac.
Talking about
then you can consume. Do you want to tell people? That hey, my friend, because this guy is from your village, you have to listen to him, even if he's not playing what does not quench your thirst?
I understand Isaac's point. That's the point I was actually about to make because Jules, you and I we've been in this thing like for years now. I think 15, 16 years ago. We had very few urban artists on airwaves. We had, know that, right? Like I had a radio show that ran for like 2 years on a radio show where I played exclusively Cameroon artists. Exclusively, like it was a rarity. It was something that rare, and it was difficult to get actually songs because there were very few people producing not only good songs, like good quality songs, and also producing like there were very few acts. Let me put it that way. So I believe that like I'll take a lead from the Nollywood. Like what we did was what the movie guys are doing. Like they're collaborating with Hollywood, which is led to we have so many on a Nigerian movie. I was like, hey, this girl is here, this girl is here, this girl is here, and all those things. I believe that right now it's that time, and I don't know how that law will be enforced. I have absolutely no idea how I believe that we should do more collaborations because we I think let me finish this. We are coming. Understand? I believe more in like a blue ocean strategy because already Francophone Africa we have no competitor, we have none. That's why I believe we have to first of all go back, make something unique. I don't know how you guys can call it, Makota 2.0, or I don't know what name you can give it to the new genre. But you come back, make something unique. Then we already have Francophone Africa. We have no competition in Francophone Africa. We have an artist selling out concerts in Ghana, in the Mali, in Benin, and like the Benin guy, Tanito. In order for him to per se, he had to do collabo with Mr. Leo and Kosi and things like that. So we already have a market where we are on the market. Let's put it that way. So I believe that in order for us to actually like really enter Anglophone Africa, which is extremely competitive, we have Nigeria, we have South Africa. It'd be very difficult for you to sing an Afrobeat and you want to actually get like credibility in Nigeria. It's like when we were doing our rap things, like we there was no way we would rap here in Cameroon and you want an American man to listen to a Cameroonian man rapping. It's not a culture. Like you say, yeah, cops chasing us, bullets, this, that. That's what we're doing when we're growing up, man. So I believe more in collaboration because it's Nigeria's time. Let's put it that way. I believe that they already have a big market, and I don't know why we're actually worried about their market because it's extremely difficult for us to penetrate that market right now. We already have the Francophone African market, which is a very, very big market in its own, and where we are undisputed. I mean, Daphne filled out a stadium in Mauritius. Do you know any artists in Mauritius, dude? I don't. I don't know any artists in Mauritius. I don't know any artists in.
I don't know where it's located on the map.
yes. It's actually high on the map actually. So we have like Jules Nya. Jules Nya made a concert in Martinique Island, and she was received like we received Naira Marley here in Douala, but if she drops on the airport in Douala, nobody actually knows her. But in Mauritius Island, in Martinique Island, she's a big star. You understand? Even Jovi in Gabon, like he has a whole Boko Gang Gabon branch. Let's put it that way. He has a whole Boko Gang Gabon, like a whole branch of Boko Gangs in Gabon. But we don't know any artists from Gabon. Any other artists from Gabon? I don't know any other artists from Gabon. So I believe that what we can do right now is we should do what I call in business a blue ocean strategy. Right? We already have a market for our song, right? We should concentrate on that and use that to build our product. And also, look at what Salatel did. Look at what Salatel did with the Haitian lady. Like, they knew his song. So they didn't know who sang it. But he did it with the Haitian lady.
Yeah, I think.
Now he's popular in Haiti.
Yeah,
that's my point of view anyway. That's my point of view.
Yeah. I think collabos are actually overrated in our context.
Okay.
Collabos are overrated because the first thing we have to do is we have to propose something of value to our audiences, and we need artists, we need local talents that can be consistent at the highest level. First of all, that's the first thing. We don't want local talent. We don't want local talent that will be relying on international or relying on a Nigerian to have a career. No, we need artists that can carry themselves by themselves for over a given period of time. That's the first thing.
So what you're saying now, let's get you. What you're saying now, you need artists that have already built their brand to a certain level.
That's the first thing.
Or they should be able, or they should be able.
I think that's a loss already.
No, Isaac. Let me add to that. From what I understand, what Juice is saying too, they should have the brand, be able to carry themselves, or they should be able to build it. Like, unless I'm mistaken something, they should either have it or be able to build it consistently.
No, you are editing it. What
Jules saying is,
I'm still around, guys. I'm still around.
You have said it is for us to digest it. You know, when you say something, it escapes from you and it becomes the public property.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm still around.
They want guys who can come up and sustain a certain level of value for a period of time.
Mashallah.
That's how you start building an industry, first of all.
Beautiful. So now what I'm saying, for me, if you're looking for guys who are already made to some certain level, right, the originality of the streets, the originality of the issues in Cameroon will not be portrayed by those guys. What is working well for Nigeria is all these fire boy, all these guys that are coming up every day from the street of Ajebule, from the street of Mushi.
Now
so if you say that you want the guys that are already average, you sustain them for them to keep on pumping value. I think the pump of originality.
Now, I think you're saying the same thing I'm saying actually, because like
what I'm saying is, right? Let's be clear. Let's be clear first of all. The first thing, let's be clear first. The first thing is Cameroonians. The issue we are having at hand, it's a problem. It's an issue within Cameroonians. Our issue is not. It's an internal issue. You understand? It's not
a family affair.
Yeah, it's a family affair. You understand? Yeah. The differences we might have differences in strategies or approach, but the whole idea about nationalism is how do we push our agenda to the rest of the world? That's the first thing. I want my Cameroonian.
It's nationalism that makes them kick Donald Trump out of America.
Quick note, guys. Quick note, guys. Brother Idris Abdul Karim. Sorry, Jules. Brother Idris Abdul Karim. He says he's following up something, so he can't tune in. Because remember, we said that we can bring him in.
He can watch us later.
Yes.
So the thing is, we have a Cameroon agenda. We have a Cameroon agenda that we're trying to push, and we're not trying to sell crap. It's not like the artists that we have at hand sell crap. We have very good artists. We have very good artists. Yes, we have world-class artists. But what we don't have the ecosystem that Nigeria has. It's important for Isaac to understand. Apart from the fan support, we don't have the media power that Nigeria has. I studied mass communication. I don't think we ever have that. Yes. We don't have the media power. You understand?
We can have it.
Nigeria has a media power. Nigeria, prior to them, Two-Face and Co, Nigeria, their media power was, everything was within Nigeria most of the time. But when the Two-Face and Co came, you had a new cream of Nigerians that had a very global perspective of the world. You understand? That went out all aggressive. I'll give you facts. The vice president of MTV Base is Alex Okosi, who's a Nigerian. So Alex Okosi, by default, will push a 50% Nigeria agenda in the content in MTV Base. Now Nigeria has Nigezie that sells the Nigeria agenda. They have Sound City that sells the Nigeria agenda. They even have a Trace TV Nigeria that sells the Nigeria agenda. What do we have? We don't have anything that pushes the Cameroon agenda. So it makes it difficult. Let's keep the fans aside. You understand? Keep the fans. Because those are the media. The media shapes popular opinion. That's the role of the media. But now the situation we have in Cameroon is we are dependent on international media like Trace and MTV Base to determine who is going to be the next star in Cameroon. So we don't have a media to control our narrative.
Mashallah.
Should we create ours? I think we need to create ours then because
can I say something on that?
Yeah, you can.
So apart from the fact that Topo is trying to do that in one way or the other, even if it's just a dot. But I really thank you guys for all the points you have really put up about this issue. From what Juice is saying about it being a family issue, so Nigeria should not take offense. It's not really like we're measuring let me not say foul them. But anyway, so then Juice, you also mentioned your keywords were development, value, culture, nationalism, promote local content, and then Raoul actually is speaking from a point of view of a developer. He sounds like an engineer who looks at the problem and he doesn't want to look around too much because he knows that if he goes deep, you spoke of a blue ocean strategy. If you go in and fix things, you'll be able to go and conquer that. So that's making me to think now, right? If you look at Mali, the griot culture, and Tumani is actually, they have a whole dynasty for music that goes back like 70 generations, hundreds of years. So Tumani, Sidiki, even Sona Jobate from Ghana and Gambia is actually related to them. And then you have Tunde Jegede. So what I've noticed with these guys is that I'm calling these people just to talk about nationalism. So one way about promoting nationalism is not about putting laws that concretely try to enforce it. It's also a matter of behavior, in the sense that look at the griots. That's why I call them. Tumani would transfer what he inherited to the next generation. Most of them start by replaying all the things that they started playing from Songhai, all those ancient strings. There's some of the music that were composed after some peace treaty. So you have this guy who replay all those things, and you have a story to tell. So not to drag this along, you had mentioned nationalism, and you mentioned that we were once number one in Africa, but due to a recession. So from an engineering point of view, I'm thinking it's like if I had this rocket that I was the first person to send it to Mars, or I sent it to Mars, and then if it's not working again, perhaps I could go there for spare parts so that I could take the spare parts and fix it, right? And be number one again. But when I think of that, then I think of Mali, and the nationalism now is by going back. So how many of our artists are able to like re-engineer Makossa? Because if they do that, they'll even have a story. So they'll be talking more about the adventure.
What you're saying is
that's why I talk about Makossa 2.0.
Well, what you're saying is very pivotal in building and sustaining brands, musically speaking. When you look at the crux of Nigerian mainstream pop, it's Fela's music. Fela's music is like the foundation. It's like the foundation of Nigerian mainstream pop. You understand? Of Afrobeat today.
That's Afrobeat.
Yes, of Afrobeat. Yes, you understand. Now, for us, the problem we have is that Nigerians, Ivorians, and some other nationals like Congolese too made this generation of Cameroonians doubt themselves. You understand? Right. They doubted themselves so much so that they are not aware of the cultural heritage. Very few of them, people like Salatiel, maybe Jovi, you understand, that are producer inclined.
They know that. They know.
I will produce one day. You guys wait for me. When I come, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, they know and understand the cultural richness that we have. It's like a child that sits on the gold mine without knowing that he's sitting on the gold mine. That is how Cameroon is. So what we're trying to tell the younger ones is Cameroon used to be number one, and we have a rich culture that we can tap from. We have a rich culture that we can inspire ourselves from. You understand? A rich cultural heritage like Makossa, like Bikuti, like Benskin. Cameroon is very diverse that these young guys can actually bank on. You understand? Americans do a lot of sampling. Sampling means they go back into time. They sample old school stuff. You understand?
You know why? You know why?
Most of the music you hear in
you know
America
why?
today are adaptations, of various.
Isaac, you know why?
So
because
we don't need to reinvent the wheel all the time.
Exactly.
That's the point I was making, actually. Jules, that's the point I was making.
Yes, the
point I was making is most of the artists today, they absolutely have no idea about their own cultural heritage. They don't know. They want to sound like a Naira Marley. I mean, you can't sound more Naira Marley than Naira Marley. You understand? So when you say 70% content, like we don't have the pure quality content. I've been like a promoter of Cameroonian music for a very long time, and you know that, right? I've been a promoter. I was the first to play Mr. Liu song on the radio. I was the first, like Star Wars, I was the first to play Starry and Not Happen. Like when I remember the first day I brought Mr. Liu to the radio station when he played his Ego Better. Chatelin, the station manager, gave him a gig that very same day. So I understand all of that. We need the quality content. So we have to go back to the base. You are the guys. You guys are the ones who understand this thing. You have to call those little guys and say, "Come on, man. This is what we have. This is what we want to do." Like most of the artists now, they spring from your Banky W's, your I don't know the other names. Where they trained them. They say, "Okay, this is where we are going to. This is the way forward. This is what we want to be. This is what we want to sell." And I believe that's what they did. That's what they did. So I believe that's what has to be done. Like it's more of a foundational issue.
Raoul, what you're saying is very pivotal. But the problem, and I wouldn't stop reminding people, the problem that we have is that we don't have media control. The media controls the narrative. The reason it's difficult to instill in this new generation the vision that we have about going back into time is because what Trace is showing them, what MTV Base is showing them, is counter to the Cameroon agenda. It's difficult for them. That's what they look at as reference. You understand?
As a developer, right? As a developer, right? What Brian was saying, as a developer, when you say, okay, you don't have this competency.
I was going to talk
right?
about that. Yeah.
Nigeria didn't have the media cloud it has now, did it? Like Nigeria didn't have the media cloud it has now. They built from scratch. It was built from scratch. They changed Nigeria, the sound systems. It wasn't like it was there before. Like when they saw that, okay, in order for us to sell those things more, we need all this media. We need media and content.
I think
all of these things to
no.
I think, gentlemen, I want to say something. I think I connect directly. What Jules has just said has just sparked up something in my head. There are two guys, right? Two guys that help Two-Face. What Kenny Music.
Kenny Music.
Right? A lot of people today do not recognize the contribution that Kenny Music has done to Nigerian music. But using what Jules has said today, right? It's a standpoint for what they did, because they just did not own Kenny Music. They were in Ray Power. Do you remember? Yeah. They were in Ray Power, AIT, every Friday, every Saturday, doing Nigerian music, in fact, they travel to the Oscars, they go to the Grammys, the Grammy, come and domesticate it. So I really get that there is definitely importance to get media, that would highlight, the art richness of Cameroon. But again, I want to say here is that maybe there are political issues. Political issues that have led to economic issues, whereby people no longer feel connected.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean.
No longer feel.
It's possible. It's possible. We are in the field of social sciences.
People no longer feel proud to call themselves that I'm a German or I'm a Cameroonian. Because of that, he begins to isolate. He begins to get sucked away.
So many people like that.
But can I contribute? Can I contribute too?
Yeah, so maybe those are things we also need to begin to talk about, Jules. Where we begin to have, young people with visions also get into politics, just to create this, this belonging.
Yeah.
So
actually, Isaac, and from the inspiration I'm getting listening to all of us, it's now about the method of building, because no matter what, all of us are only saying we need to build, we need to be productive in one way or the other. And as an engineer with experience in building systems, I also think that it's and that's why I brought the Tumani issue and Mali, because you learn by going back in history. If not, you reinvent what is already there, and you end up wasting time. If you look at us in the computer field today, we have Linux, we have Unix, right? If you understand Unix and Linux, you have understood almost all of computing. A company like Facebook, and what the beauty of Unix, and please permit me say this, is because I want to create an analogy that matches the power that is in Cameroon. So Unix was created by pioneers like 1979. Some of the ideas in Unix, like one idea in Unix is now $1 billion company. Google is a simple command in Unix. When you search, right? You can search and then sort. In Unix, you could search the whole system because it was meant to work on the network. You see, things like Facebook, Twitter. There was this Twitter even. It's a command called talk, where you could just say talk, and I say something, and everyone in the network sees it. You see what I mean? So in the computer field, we know that the way we go ahead is by going behind. We're going to the back. You go and see. You take a small command and you expand it, and you become $1 billion. I think Raoul can connect with this. So, in terms of production, music production, movie production, it's also an art and it's a craft like software engineering. So, but the ideas you're dealing with are abstract enough, but they exist in culture as opposed to existing in a computer. So if you, the artist, goes back and you look at those things, you'll be able to give it a modern interface. Like how Twitter will be better than that command line black and white screen. Twitter will give you the blue thing. So I just wanted to drop that before we continue.
What you're
Please,
saying?
guys, I want to build, Jules, please. I want to build on what Brian just said. Now, guys, I mean, there is no doubt about the importance of the media. I mean, Jules has just hit it on the nail. AIT, the emergence of AIT, right, is it just came to my head now. Is a major responsibility for the growth of for the growth of Nigerian music in Nigeria.
Nigerian music, yeah.
If you remember, AIT came up. In fact, they had more equipment and facilities more than CNN. If anybody followed that time, you know. So this Cameroonian artist now, you know, they said the artist builds from his environment. The artist gets his, his materials from his environment. We are talking here now. We cannot just wish them to go back to the archives and bring this material.
They might do all of that. They might do all of that.
How do we make that happen? How do Cameroonians make that happen? How do we woo their mind for them to be, to see the richness?
See, what we are saying is there is no one size fits all solution. There's no one size fits all solution. What we're saying is it's a combination of different strategies that will solve, that will become the panacea to the problem we are raising. Even if our artists decide to go back into time and start bringing some elements of our rich culture, if we don't have the media power to control our narrative or to push our agenda, we will still be playing the minor league.
Yeah,
yes, we'll still be playing the minor. We need to learn.
Jules, I have a question for you, please. Don't you think it's that ironic that we're talking about media power when our artists fill stadiums in other, like, I want to say lesser known countries? Don't you think we have a media power?
No. Yes, it's not ironic. That it's a variable you and I cannot control. Trace doesn't belong to Cameroon. We are at their mercy. That's what you don't see. And so they choose who's going to be the next star.
Yeah.
We are at their mercy. So
but Cameroon music can grow to a level, and Trace will build another department, another channel saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like my point of view is right.
But my issue is we ought not to rely. Once we start relying on international media to create local stars, it's going to make us dependent, and we're not going to break through. Nigerians, before Trace came in and all those, Nigeria controls 70-80% of their narrative. They have their media that pushes their agenda. They have their own media for that. That is my point. That's my point. My point is we've reached a level where we have very good talent. We're not at the level of talent. Let's not get it twisted. We're not at the level of talent. People like Jovi will rap any day in front of a guy like MI or Ice Prince or whatever. Any day you rap in front of them. You understand? Yes. No complex. So what is the difference between an MI and a Jovi? You start looking at the structure, the ecosystem. They have the media power. They are more organized. They are more professional. They have the population. You start looking at the other variables that make a huge difference. You understand? So keeping the talent aside, we know that there's always room for improvement regarding the talent. Yes, we always talk to our talents. Guys, go back into time. Go try and do whatever thing you need to do because we have a rich cultural heritage. Yeah. People like Salatiel, people like Jovi, people like Mr. Leo are doing a fantastic job with the little resources that they have. You understand? Yeah, they're doing a fantastic. They're literally squeezing water out of rock. You understand?
Yeah.
But beyond the talent, you need other structures too that will come up, like media and other. If we have to rely every time, on Trace to determine who's going to be the next time in Cameroon, bro, we're always going to be lagging behind.
Yeah,
that's my.
So we need our own media, right?
So you guys should go up. You guys should team up, go up, and set up media agencies, no matter how small.
Yes. They should come to top of, man.
From somewhere. Even though I have to say here that we experience some level of frustration trying to get Cameroonian artists onto our platform. Yeah, people could say that these guys are not, but come on, man. I am in Nigeria. Brian is a Cameroonian. He is in the United States of America. I mean, we've had Idris Abdul Karim on this show.
Area Father, Maykori, we've had Audu Maykori,
Chocolate City CEO.
CEO.
We've had Who here, and these are people that follow us live when we talk, or they watch our videos afterwards and still advise us on how to move. You know, so
remember, I just sent Brother Idris Abdul Karim a text. I just sent him a text. He replied to me. He just replied that sorry, he's doing something. You check later.
So
I'm a Cameroonian.
Yeah. So let's not get sucked into Topo's issues now.
Yes.
Guys, I think there is need to set up media agencies, no matter how small. These media agencies will reorientate us about the richness of Cameroon, so that nobody needs to tell us that we need to go back and take, and borrow from our market. We ourselves will love ourselves, love our traditional heritage, appreciate it, then we use it. So I think it's very important that you, Jules, having read mass communication, that you set up a news agency.
I don't mind giving you a stream on Topo here, because like if you notice, Topo Spaces is almost abstract. Like we don't even know where we're going, because when we look at it, we can go everywhere. You see what I mean? So and it can stream for a very long time. And now when we're talking about our own media houses, one thing about aging and growing that I've realized is that you get to realize that no one will do something for you. You have to do it yourself. So even if we say we need media houses, hey, before you forget, YouTube, Zoom, those things democratize media houses. So we can actually start, and that's where we start fighting the game now of like producing quality info and quality content, of which you can have that conversation. But I get it.
It's important. It's important. It's important that we realize that we are seated on the gold mine, and when we talk about globalization, we talk about it's not about people getting lost in that global village. No, it's about keeping your identity while integrating. You understand? Yeah, because integration is a word. We're talking about African, Pan-African, but our diversity is our strength. You understand? Our diversity is our strength. But it is important for the young and upcoming generation of Cameroonian artists to understand that Cameroon has a very rich cultural heritage. And the reason why, one of the reasons we actually can't break even in English-speaking Africa is because we're trying to copy those guys. You understand? It's like I said, cultures don't live in isolation. Cultures are bound to meet. Cultures are bound to meet. They are bound to interact, and they are bound to influence each other. Now, to what extent? Yes. To what extent are they going to influence each other? If you're a Cameroonian artist and you're trying to do some banku music or some Afrobeat, it's going to sound fake, because for the copy, it's never going to be an original. You understand? Yeah. So we have a lot of music genres in Cameroon that the young talents, the record labels, can actually bank on to project the Cameroonian agenda. The reason why we're suffering today is because most of these kids, most record labels watch Trace and they think, and Trace gives them a false standard, an illusion that this is what music is in Africa. And everybody's trying to fit in that small box, because it's a media that is pushing its own agenda. So they can decide to say Ivorian music is like the Afro-pop sound. And everybody's
Jules, are you sure you're not? Are you sure you're not blaming Trace and other foreign media too much?
No.
Have you guys? No, I'm coming now. We need to look inwards and ask ourselves these questions. Trace is a business. Right? They're doing business, right?
Isaac,
how much have the Cameroonians? I'm coming. How much? We're Africans, but we need to be asking ourselves these questions. How much have the Cameroonians, entrepreneurs, the business moguls who have money to put into media, how much have they invested into media in Cameroon?
Most haven't. We have a dedicated music station, called Boom TV, but Boom TV doesn't really have a clearly defined editorial policy. You understand? But because when you watch, it's owned by a Cameroonian, a very wealthy Cameroonian, but whose vision about the media is not clearly defined. Because when you watch it, you don't know whether they are pushing a Cameroonian agenda, whether they're pushing an African agenda. When I watch Nigeria, I know they are probably Nigerian. That is their slogan. When I watch Sound City, I mean,
there are plenty. Yeah, there are plenty now that you can't even count them. I mean, just even talk about the mainstream, AIT, Channels TV, and all of those.
Silver Bread and everything. Yes, they are pro.
Thank you.
Yeah. They are pro-Nigerian in their approach. But here we have one music institution.
So Brian and Raoul, permit me to say, Brian and Raoul, permit me to say that the problem, the issue does not lies with the artist. The issue lies with the leaders of the industry.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
The bigger stakeholders.
Everybody has a part of the blame. Everybody has a part of the blame.
No, somebody takes a chunk. Raoul, you too, you are part of the problem because because these are artists, right? The artist uses what he sees, what he lived, what is put in his head, right? So the media now is responsible for giving him this material.
For conveying, yes.
If we do a documentary on Buya now, that is a raw material for a journalist, for an artist, right? If we go and research Brian's village now and do a documentary there, bringing back the cultures, I mean, the samba dance, that used to be danced before the independence, and make it beautiful, package it. That is a raw material for any artist, not necessarily a musician, but a painter, a dramatist.
So
the problem lies with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Isaac, my point is the porosity of our media terrain. You understand? Our media terrain is porous because that's one thing I learned when I was in Nigeria. When I was in Nigeria, I learned about protectionism. You understand?
Yeah.
It's about controlling your narrative, because if you don't do that, someone else will claim it and give their own perspective of it.
Yeah.
So
let me tell you something about what.
Now
let me tell you something about what you call this protectionism that you're talking about.
Yeah.
This protectionism that you see, everything boils down to individuals.
Yeah.
Wherever there needs to be any change, it boils down to an individual. Sometimes you don't even need a government policy. Nobody told Raymond Dokpesi to go and build AIT. He saw the need for it, and he did it. Government does not protect any Nigerian artist. Oga Raoul, government no dey protect any Nigerian artist. Nigerian artists drove their music to the level that it is today.
Of course.
Kenny music is part of it. No government said Kenny go and form music. No legislative policy said Kenny go and form music. It is somebody like Raoul and somebody like Jules who understand the system, who have a long-term dream. Say, okay, we are going to shoot 15 years from now, and go build up this media organization and begin to do this thing. So it is not like Nigerians came, they were
Can I share something? I need to share my screen.
Few players that did this.
I need to share my screen. I keep bringing this up either when I chat with Rahul and Isaac. So, but now that Juice is here, you had mentioned that we're sitting on a gold mine, and I'd written something on Facebook about that. I will send you the link later, Juice. But
okay, bro.
Yeah. So one of the things, as a computer scientist, right, I am trained to calculate the performance of systems. So what happens is that if, for example, I want to transfer data from one point to another, and I said, okay, I'll put it in a card and then carry that card to some point, rest, and then carry it to the destination. I want to know the fastest path so that I should spend the least. So we use mathematics. So it's applied mathematics. You use mathematics to calculate it, and you can draw a graph to show how it's gonna. So if, let's say, I have 10 things and my performance is n squared, it means that for 10 things I will spend 100 units. right? So, but there could be somebody that will code it in a way that the complexity is just n. That's just linear. For 10 things, I spend 10 units. So I'll go with that one. So that's what we do. And I decided to use it to analyze Cameroon. I decided to use that kind of mathematics to analyze Cameroon. And I have it, this article that I want to show you. I would show you. Let me share my screens on Facebook. So what I realized is that we can take a simple, I will just use permutations, right? If I have two things, A and B, I can combine them in two ways. So I can have A, B, or B, A, right? If I have three things, I could combine them in 6 ways. A, B, C, it could be A, B, C, B, A, C, C, A, B, or like, I have six ways to do that. If I have 5, I can combine them in 120 ways. So I was making the argument that Cameroon has like 300 tribes or 200 tribes, right? So if you go to Cameroon, go to one tribe, Bayangi or Ewondo or any tribe, and then you take, let's say, 2 traditional songs. You can mix them in 2 ways. You take 3 traditional songs. You can mix them in 6 ways, right? And if you mix those in 6 ways, you can actually either remix those, or if you really get into the sound, you find all these combinations that you can make out of those sounds. So with that, and Jovi does that actually. With that in mind, if we, I think I had numbers when I did the calculation, my mind was blown. We got to a point where if out of 26 tribes, you decide to pick only 5 songs, or out of 26 sounds, you pick just 5, you can have up to this amount. So this is, how much is this? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 7 million. Yeah. Yes. So now, yes, and then there were other numbers that I was giving. If you have 5 traditional dances and you decide to mix just 3 of them, you would have 10 songs. So imagine now taking this 10 and redoing that thing. You see what I mean? So when I did that calculation, the only conclusion that I could do, that I could come to, was that Cameroon is sitting on a gold mine, like what you said. So I just said I should bring that up since you mentioned that. So those that are listening, if you're an artist, your job is to dig. Go inside with your pen and your paper, disappear, think, listen to old songs, listen to them, try to mix them, try to, and have the confidence that let people say, listen to it and say nonsense, and then you do another one. You see, so anyway, I just thought I should put that on the table. That
is quite insightful, and I think there's so much artists can do by themselves in Cameroon, because they've done already a lot by themselves. You understand? When we started back then with Jovi, we had nothing. The only thing we had was the music. We didn't have anything. I came back from Nigeria. I just come from a society where I saw guys that were like us that were making it. So I had that rage where I said no. That's why when I finished from Nigeria, I didn't even spend a day there. I finished with a 2-1. If I stayed in Nigeria, I'm sure I would have had a good job. I had proposals. I had job proposals, but I didn't stay. I wanted to come back to Cameroon. So I just came back right away and created the Mumac thing back then. Because that my concern was making music that reflects our people's needs, aspirations, and lifestyle. You understand?
Yeah.
Whenever you create a product that revolves around people's needs, aspirations, and lifestyle, the magic is going to happen. You understand? So
and it is. You guys basically transform the industry. Like, you transform the industry. Let me just give you a tidbit. Like when we were here in Boya, we had this like trap rap where we like rap like Americans, right? So I remember when the Don't Forget thing came out. Song came out. I think it was 2012. Is it 12 or 11?
Don't Forget came out in 2010. Then it was on air on 2011 on Trace TV.
Yeah, 2011. Yeah, 2011.
Yeah,
so a friend of mine rushed into the room. I was like, I will listen to this. Like, we listened to that. We're like, da-da-da, da-da-da. And we knew that was the future. Like, we were, before then, anybody was rapping in good English. Like, showcasing me, like, my nigga. But when you guys
paradigm shift. It was a paradigm shift.
Yeah, it was a paradigm shift. It was a massive paradigm shift. We were like, I used to sing. I used to rap too. I actually had like two songs I did. And when I heard that, I just retired because I knew like
you understood. You understood.
I understood.
Yeah.
I understood that this was the future. Like this was the paradigm shift. So what you guys did was absolutely
Raoul,
man.
Thanks, bro. Raoul, and it wasn't too complex. It wasn't too complicated. it was just the entrepreneurs.
It was
The
just going
entrepreneurs.
back to the source.
Yes, the
Yes.
entrepreneurs. The
Yeah, go back
entrepreneurs
to
in
the
us.
source.
The entrepreneurs in us just made us observe around us, and we felt like, first of all, culturally, Jovi and I come from a very solid musical culture. I've been a DJ. I've had a record store. So prior to even being a manager, I've been a record producer. I made beats. I've been a DJ. I sold CDs and cassettes back then. So the musical culture is there. I come from that rich musical culture and sing for Jovi. Understand? And that is why you see that most of the guys that are making it today, like Salatel and co, have a sound musical culture.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
If you don't have that sound musical culture, bro, you cannot compete. You cannot carry
You'll
a
be
culture
lucky.
to the next level.
You only be extremely lucky.
Yes, and that is the problem we are having with the cream of our new talents. They don't have that foundation. You understand?
And most of them
They don't have that foundation.
For the name
Yes,
that they're an artist. I said,
yes,
boy,
yes.
It's like
Yes.
the other time I was listening to Manu Dibango, like wah, Mutana, wah, and this young guy who wants to be an artist was telling me that why am I listening to that old people stuff? Like he wants to be an artist and he's telling me that Manu Dibango is old people stuff. Like why am I listening to old people music?
You are even talking about Manu Dibango. How many of these kids even know about Petit Pays repertoire? They don't know Petit Pays repertoire.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, yeah.
And that is the biggest Makosa artist we are talking about.
Mashallah.
And most of our artists don't even know his repertoire.
Mashallah.
You understand? Yeah, that is very disheartening.
But whose fault is that?
No, that's what I said. That's why I was talking about media, because I know the media power. Because Kamuyan, let me tell you one thing, Isaac. Let me paint a picture of our media landscape, so you understand. Our media landscape is porous. It's very porous, and today, because we don't have local media that can promote or provide quality local content, musical content at the highest level, we have to rely on an international media like Trace. Like 70-80% of Cameroonian household watch Trace TV. So you can understand the mind control that's going on there.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Can I ask a
It's
question?
terrible.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, but how much can it cost then to do that, and what will it take from like a human resource point of view? What are the roles that are needed for such a TV? And actually, before I continue, hey guys, those who are listening, thanks for joining. Please feel free to share. Feel free to ask your questions to anyone on here. And Jules was talking about his musical background. So he has been here before, and he actually told us a story where he went to school, how he studied, a lot of detail, a very rich episode that if you listen to it, you will learn a lot. So that brings me now to my point. Yes, even if we have that TV, so how should we make it when those of us that are in the startup circle in the media space, it's hard for us to like get people to follow what we do, like Topo Spaces.
I think some people are already doing a fantastic job, like online.
Yeah.
When I look at 237 Showbiz, they're doing a fantastic job.
Wonderful job. Yeah, I love seeing this stuff.
237, they're doing a fantastic job. When you look at Beamstar, Beamstar is doing a fantastic job on the digital platform. The guys that are trying, the guys that are trying so hard, but on the traditional media platform, I think since it's going to necessitate a lot of resources, to come up with a TV station and all that. So I think it's a little bit slow there. But online, we have platforms that are proudly Cameroonian.
Yeah,
a platform like 237 Showbiz.
Juice, Oga Juice, Marlon Juice. You have identified this problem very clearly. This is why we're here. Brian asked you a question. What does it take for this mainstream media?
Even if it's money, like,
what does it take?
Yeah.
How much would it cost? Let's talk about it. Somebody could be listening to us now and decide to put his money into this thing.
Even me, I can go and rob a bank.
What it takes first of all is the vision.
Yeah.
Like we talked about KK, and we talked about the AIT founder, is the vision. You understand? The guy that created Sound City had a vision that he wanted to push the Nigerian culture forward. The first thing is the vision. If you have the vision, the drive, everything will fall in place. The problem is most of our businessmen don't have that vision, unfortunately.
Okay.
You understand? They don't have that vision. They don't know how to market culture. They don't know how to market music and all that. So they don't understand how media.
They're just influenced by external factors.
So
you understand? So
yeah. So for instance now, Jules, let me just work what is in my head. For instance now, we now have a businessman who is ready, who has some like, let's say 50 million or let's say $10 million.
Let me run my mouth, Isaac. Imagine that.
Let me say this to the Jews.
Wait,
you
see.
You come back.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
I don't know what it takes financially. To be.
I'm trying to help you, Isaac. I'm gonna say that, and just imagine somebody who has 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin is how many million? 30 something million. Just imagine that there's somebody who has 1 Bitcoin that he wants to come and invest in Cameroon. That's like how many million? 27 million francs CFA. So if that person is there, what will you do?
Okay.
So technically,
good. Jules, I beg, Jules. So the question is not whether you know how much it costs or not. The question is that we already have people. Some people are listening to us. Come on, man. Yeah. We already have people. Let's say, for instance, we have somebody now who has listened to us and has the genuine concern. He says he wants to do this thing. Do we have people with this vision that he can invest his money and say, guys, come together. This is $10 million. How do we make this thing happen? Is there the availability of such human manpower to execute this money into those things?
One thing with Cameroon is blessed with one of the smartest brains in Africa when it comes to intelligence. You understand? We have the human resource. It's not a problem. The problem we have is that lack of vision, that lack of foresight. That is the issue. Once you have,
at the end of the day.
No, if let's say someone like me, I have the chance that someone like me who understands how the media functions.
Somebody can bring this money to you, bro.
Exactly.
Somebody can bring this money to you. Somebody watching us right now can say that Jules. Let him come. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You see, Raymond Dekosi.
Yes.
These guys probably just wanted to be a businessman and make profit. Right? Some dudes went to him and tell him, Oga, I have had that opportunity to advise people, like put your money into this. Some dudes walk up to you and say, Oga, put your money in this sector. I have the capacity. I will bring in my team. We will make it happen. Now, this is what I'm already thinking, that we don't end up this show without moving forward. Right?
Yeah.
My question is that do we have the know-how? Do we have the manpower?
The know-how has never been the problem. That's why I keep on saying the know-how has never been the problem. Cameroon has some of the smartest brains you ever come across. But the problem we have is it's a managerial problem. What is the vision of the guy that has the money? If the money comes into my hand, or if I happen to meet someone who wants to invest, I can give him a roadmap. I can give him a blueprint of what it takes to run such a media outfit. Yeah, you understand?
Thank you.
But the problem is most of them don't have the foresight, they don't have the vision. So even if they invest, after a year or two, they'll start say, "Where's my money?" Whereas people like Raymond Dogbesi are people who understood that maybe it's after the 5th or 6th year that they'll start making money because they knew exactly what they were getting into.
So, brother Raoul, this is where we come in as media men, right? Right? To begin to talk about this thing, to begin to talk about people who have money to come to this industry, and we're sitting on a gold mine. Invest your money, into the media. I mean, this way we just keep on talking about it, and people will come out. I am positive that people, Cameroonians,
because there is an urgent need for us to control our narrative. It's very important. It is a battle of narratives. So, what shapes the narratives? What is the tool that controls public opinion? Is the media.
Yes.
So we'll complain, we'll talk about this and that. Then if we don't have the media power, we'll always depend on trace. We'll depend on another person to determine who's going to...
media. I mean, like, it's basically media. Without cutting you guys, right?
Yeah.
It's basically media. Like right now, there's a media battle going on between the UK and China. Like, BBC was banned in China. and in the UK, the
It's the media.
CGTN was banned in the UK. So it's all about media influence. It's all about propaganda,
Yes.
and Americans are absolutely masters at that. So basically, it is not really. It's about us doing that. Okay, this is our interest. This is our narrative.
Yes.
This is what we want. This because it's our pushing ideas. Like the Chinese man will never talk bad about the Chinese media. CGTN will never talk bad about Xi Jinping. They will never ever talk about what's happening in Hugo, what's happening whatever. But the BBC are there every time about, oh, China is desolate, China is this, there's Wuhan is this, Wuhan is sad. And the Chinese was like, okay, the UK is this, they don't have roads, they don't have this, they don't have... But basically, that's how these things are, man. It's not rocket science. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, Nigeria has all this town city, and they had a clear vision to promote Nigeria, right? Yeah. Because they knew that Nigeria was sitting on a gold mine.
Yes.
They knew that, and now their bets are paying off because now they're raking in millions and millions of dollars. You understand?
Yes.
So it's about you and I really understand this thing to be able to say, okay, this is the narrative we want to push, and be very aware as you. There will be also counter narratives. Those things that will come, and this is our idea. There will also be people who have counter narratives. That will say, okay, no, instead of doing like this, we should do it like this, do it like that. That's what I am saying is, right now, we already have a media cloud in Francophone Africa. Yeah. Right? We own that. We own that. So it's not really about the problem of media. That's what I said last time. For me, I don't believe it's the problem of media. Because we already have, I think when I watch Trace, I watched it 30 minutes.
We don't have it.
Trace is not Cameroonian.
No, Trace is not Cameroonian. We don't have it.
Yeah, let him finish.
Cameroonian, right?
No,
I
we
know
don't have
Trace
it.
is not Cameroonian.
It's
What
not
I'm trying to say
Cameroonian.
is we already have
Trace-
media attention.
Yeah.
Right? We already have media attention.
No. Raoul, let me make my point. How does Trace affect its quality control? Are you sure that Trace projects the most talented Cameroonians between you and I? Are you sure that Trace...
That will never happen.
Do they even
That will
care?
never happen.
Do they care?
didn't have each airwave in Nigeria. Fela wasn't playing in Nigeria radio station. He was
But that's what we're saying.
That will never happen.
Yeah, I think we need to get a Cameroonian media who wants to put Cameroon narrative
on the map.
No matter how it looks, he wants to push it.
Yes.
Can I say something? Actually,
Trace is a good ally, yes, but we cannot depend on them. They are good allies, yes.
I agree. You can't depend on ally.
But this is what I have to say, right? This is what I have to say. Even about Trace projecting, projection and things like talent, those are matters of taste, right?
Taste, yes.
So the person projecting it, he may like old school.
No. He might no disrespect.
Exactly.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
He might, yes. But it is not a reflection of Cameroonian culture.
Exactly.
It is not. It is not. I agree with Jules. We have to look at this thing distinctively and polish it and keep it for everybody to see.
Yes.
Look, there is no way that AIT will care so much about Cameroon.
There's no way. There's no way.
There's no way.
No way.
That was why he owes nobody apology to say what is going on in Cameroon is a family problem.
Yes.
If you take offense in it, that's your problem. Because we need a Cameroon to carry this thing and say, this one and him be our own. Every day, this one and him be our own. This one and him we like. This one and him we love. This one and him we love. This one and him we love. Eventually,
that's how it's done. Anyway, everyone, that's how it's done.
And then question. I have a follow-up question.
100% Cameroon.
I have a follow-up question then. If we need our own media houses, do we need what type? Do we need like internet TV? Because like I say, YouTube, Facebook, all these video platforms, and people can even build their own. Like today, those things are democratized, right? So is it a matter of building on the internet or classic TV station where people have to put in the
They complement each other. Both.
Okay.
They complement each other.
Right.
Yeah, we need it is called an online offline strategy.
Brian,
Brian,
for instance now.
Yeah.
For instance now, if Topo Spaces was not a brainchild of Cameroon, these guys cannot come here and be talking about Cameroon since for 45 minutes now.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Just from 1 hour now.
And
I
I have
don't
my
tell the guy,
arguments.
boy, wait, I beg. We need to go to Congo. There's something because
Yes.
but because he's theirs.
Yes.
You come comfortably and talk about your issues. So
Of course.
I mean, it's very important. And I just wanted to ask Jules, right?
I mean, it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal. It's natural that if you want to sell yourself, you have to sell yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
Now, then I wanted to ask another thing, Oga Jules and Raoul, you guys are there on ground. Some of us that went to school, that are educated, we tend to look away from politics and politicians. Eventually, these are the guys that have the wherewithal. They are the ones that have these monies.
Yeah.
So maybe we should begin to look about. We know they are corrupt. We don't owe any African politician any apology to say that their monies are. When our grandfathers stay for Nigeria, then they here with Abuja. The grandfathers of those corruption, then they here. Now, I mean, but they say Las Vegas was built with what money now? Right? Yeah, we know the story of Las Vegas. It was built with corruption money, and it's spending a lot of money, employment, and all of that for Nigeria. So maybe we need to begin to look at how we can approach our politicians, keep our morality and our
all the potential investors.
Yeah, to bring them to the table. Yeah, instead of launder this money in Dubai and all of that, let's put it into this mainstream, Brian. So maybe it's an agenda for us to begin to talk about Cameroon politicians, to begin to look at how they can invest in media.
Yeah, not only politicians. There are people that have money that are looking for ways to opportunities to invest.
Obviously.
Yes,
and we can go to the next point then of a conversation. It's still very related to this. And there's a comment, but we've been on for like an hour, 27 minutes. If anybody wants to drop off, let me know. Yeah. Wow. And we've not started.
Me, I'm happy because today I've been thinking about this Cameroon issue. Honestly, I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, he has been asking me to all the time. Yeah.
What is the problem? But I'm happy today that we've been able to identify something very, very important, and I can defend it anywhere I go, and I'll keep on talking on it on these Topo spaces with everybody that comes.
Yeah. So there is a comment from Gislaine Ike. So he says Trace might not project the most talented Cameroonians, but the problem starts from within, because even amongst the local media, even the most talented are not given the spot. The industry is configured in a certain way. If you guys push nonsense respectfully, then you guys will be known for that. So from the media to the artistic orientation, everything is a problem.
We have to create a merit-based system. You understand? Okay. Any system that's not merit-based is bound to fail. You understand? We have to create a merit-based system internally, first of all, so much so that only the best will be projected out there. Okay. You understand? Okay. Yes. If we don't practice quality control or gatekeeping at our levels, I don't think we're going to. Yes, we have to at our levels, from the record labels to the radio stations, the various stakeholders have to practice some form of gatekeeping. You understand? Okay. So much so that we make sure that we push the most valuable talent out there. We don't just work by affinity, but we work by competence. You understand?
I see.
Yes, it's very important to just think like that.
We can transition then.
Yes,
sorry.
Raoul. This one now Africa. This one now Africa. That person will ask that question. How long thing did they talk? Brian.
Yeah, there is another comment from Gislaine.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
What I wanted to say is that, look, okay, if you are good, you are good. Oh. Don't wait for somebody to come and open gate for you.
Exactly. Even though you not go anywhere, man.
Do you understand? Look, affinity is Africa. This is, yes, we agree that it has backpedaled us, right? But it is even in Nigeria is a problem. Even in the music industry here in Nigeria, it's very dominant. But please, if you're in Cameroon, you're an artist, my brother, you feel that you are supposed to be given a chance because you are good. I'm sorry I'm not in Cameroon, but from a universal point of view, a special African universal point of view, I want to tell you that you have not worked hard enough You need to break
no,
the
you
door.
have to work.
You need to break the door by yourself. You need to get scratch and break the doors. Make your music, sell it. Nobody is going to open the door for you.
Today,
this quality control. Yes, they will set those parameters, but you still
today,
make your hustle out.
Today, technology has transformed the way we consume music. Technology has democratized access to music. So there's little or no excuse for an artist not to be known today.
Yes.
It's possible for an artist, for a guy to sit in his room and make a hit song. It's very possible today. So there's no excuse for that. With the internet, once you release a song, the people will decide.
Yeah.
You understand? From any major company that are making it big today, because the internet, they got validated by the masses out there.
Yeah.
So let everybody do their groundwork, and then we'll make sure that they put the music on all the necessary platforms that need to be done. If they don't know about it, let them surround themselves with people that are competent enough to handle that aspect of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
And if you're in Buya, I love Buya. Shout out to all my guys in Buya. Google Jam. If you're in Cameroon, particularly, if you're in Buya and you're an artist, you have something that is great. You've seen Jules here. You've seen Raoul here. They've indicted themselves by coming on this show to talk about these issues. Go to them, take your materials to them. You know, if they don't respond to you, please come to Topo Spaces.
To us, we'll fire them.
Come to Topo Spaces. We'll play the music and we'll call them and tell them that they should listen to your music.
And before I say the next thing I had to say, do you guys see this picture? Let me put it on Facebook too.
Wow, that's
you.
Yeah.
Brian, that's you.
Yeah. I'm a ninja, man. So actually, I'm a ninja. This is Jovi. So
that's 2012.
Yes. So
this Mr. T.
Yes. So I actually remember this when Raoul was talking about the landscape, how Done for Quad actually just took us to another level. So I was working in Joku with Churchy Mambe as a programmer. Yeah, so we bought the CD. We came for this event. This was a movie event. Alain Menge was there. This was at Hotel Residence Carlos.
Yeah, I brought Jovi back then.
Jovi actually, the reason why I'm showing this is because Jovi actually performed Done for Quad twice.
Yes.
That's after the song ended, he told the DJs to restart it.
You see?
So he said they should restart it. So that's why I was like, this man is a dragon.
I mean, even Stanley. I remember very well the Fix It concert organized by Samadango in Limbe, and Stanley was actually hustling to get on stage. I remember very well he came with nobody and he had his CD, his handpan CD, and he was hustling to get on stage, to get help, to perform. Like, was there like, let me perform.
Yeah.
And the guy in charge of the event didn't know Stanley. We had absolutely no idea who he was, right? Yeah. And I don't think he actually performed on that day. So if you yourself, you don't hustle, man.
I think this story, I always keep it in the background because I'm not quite sure. But I remember as the president of Rogan Kings when I was in UB, we used to make parties. When I was president, I made 3 parties. I made one in Limbe, made one in Douala, made 2 in Limbe actually, and Calypso. And then the other one was in another club, and then in Douala. So I think it's Stanley or somebody, they wanted to be the MC. So that time, those guys who were making music, they also used to be very good MCs. So they would call us presidents and try to get us to pay them to come. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about that, but I think it's Stanley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Stanley was a host. Yeah, he was a host. He used to do
he was an MC. I mean, in 2013, I think I have the picture. We invited Tarakia. They just came back from, they had the one that trio. He was in the group that trio, him, Rude Boy, and the other lady. And they just came back from West Africa where they won Nescafe, Revelation Award, something like that, where they did the tour. And when he came, I asked him, okay, I have a show in Limbe. Would you want to perform? He said, okay, just pay my transport. Right? And I said, okay, yes, the transport fare. And he came to Limbe with Rude Boy, with Blesby, and they did perform. Nobody knew what I said, like, he was singing and everybody was like just looking at him like, who is this guy? But now, he won't call it now and I'm on it now.
That's hustle, man. That's hustle. In every domain.
You have to hustle. You have to put yourself out
in
there.
every domain.
You have to hustle. You have to break the door.
You have to hustle.
Yeah.
You have to pay your dues. That's how you build your reputation over time.
Pay your dues.
You understand? That's how. Yeah, because the problem we have now is.
I mean, Nigeria. The industry in Nigeria is 15 years in the making. It's not like it happened last year. It has been like more than 15 years in the making.
Yeah. So
exactly. Actually, more than that. Actually.
I think he's talking about the.
So
I mean, this
we can
new generation.
We can jump into our next topic, which would be like the same thing we've been talking about, but since we know that we need an ecosystem with media and participation, I think it's
stakeholders.
It's high time we spoke about the ethics or like the kind of energy that can transpire within that ecosystem to make it to grow. So, but before that, let me read a comment from Ghislaine. So Ghislaine IK says, the problem is not just pushing our own, because it's our own. It's also a question of knowing what to push quality-wise. How many Cameroonian artists talk about crucial issues that are more relatable than just dances in nightclubs? Stuff like that leaves a legacy, and a proper industry is also built upon a solid legacy, irrespective of genre. What is the message to be carried? Yes.
Yeah, that's what
we'll talk about now, actually.
Yeah, that's how we're encouraging people to go back into time. If you're running out of ideas, you're running short of ideas, just going back into time.
Yeah.
Studying what others have done before you, the legacy that the others have done before you as an artist. In any domain, you don't just come into that domain like that, be it in engineering, be it in medicine, you have to go back. That's why there's a history of every domain.
Yeah.
So that you get to learn from other people's mistakes and all that and successes. So it's been normal for younger talents nowadays. We have to encourage them to go back and then go back to the draw boards, and then so that they can become better artists. When you see Burna Boy today, when he goes to the US, he's carrying a whole culture on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So he's proud of where he's coming from. He can stand anywhere in the US without any complex to talk about his music, because it comes from a very rich culture. You understand? From a rich heritage. He will start talking about Fela. He will talk about. I mean, But most of these kids nowadays, they don't have any foundation. You understand? Yeah. If your foundation is Makosa, you can start talking about people like Pei, Manu Dibango. You can start Black Steel. I mean, it's a rich cultural heritage. But if your foundation is based on nothing, it's difficult to carry the movement. It's very difficult. You understand? So that is what we should be encouraging our younger ones to do. Let them go back and then know their culture, know their history. By the time you know your history and culture, nobody can mess up with you anywhere in the world.
Mashallah. Thanks for that. Also, on the note of ethics and hustling in such an environment. Oops, I saw myself there. I was going to say that in the case of ecosystems and ethics, the culture that really thrives is a hustling culture, especially one that is powered by respect. And I'm saying this because I have a lot of stories that, like, I see people on Facebook talk about things, but it's different from the experience that I have here. So I will start with that. And so, Jules, thanks for appearing again. Remember, I contacted you before, and you actually appeared on the show, right? I've contacted hundreds of people like that. They don't show up. You see what I mean? Then when I see on Facebook, I see like some artists who I've probably written to them and they don't reply, or they have a manager that when I write to the manager does not reply. Or if, for example, I call the manager and she says, "Oh, send me a text," and I try to say, "Oh, sorry, but if someone talks, I could transfer more information than through a text." They'll say, "Oh, call," and then they'll drop. Very rude and things like that. So then when they talk about hustling, so when I see people like that, I just imagine that, man, if you come to America, for example, you're in Baltimore, you're in New York, this year have you die now. Like a little chicken. Like a little chicken. It means you cannot even come to America and see how people suffer and hustle. You see that this year thing that people call you, drop the call, you're just being a chicken. Anyway, I don't mean to insult anyone, but anyway, that's my first point. So we're gonna continue.
I like to add. I like to add, sir. Jules, I don't know whether I should allow you to finish your point, so that I add. Mine basically is to say, I mean, we should not. We should honor and understand and appreciate little beginnings.
Yeah.
Your little beginning and our little beginning. This attitude, I have tried to contact Cameroon artists, people from Cameroon, not just even artists from here on my own, journalists. I know what I've gone through as regards compared to the guys around me here in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Right? So let's stop looking down on each other. If you look down on me, you probably will give me an inferiority complex. And it is because you feel inferior about yourself. This is why you're looking down on me. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need that attitude change, so that we can pursue ourselves forward. Honestly, I guarantee you guys, right, that Topo Spaces is in talk with some of in our own little way. I mean, we have, I will say it again.
Let me tell the story. Let me actually tell the story.
I'm not finished, Brian. I'm not finished. You know, okay. I'm a grandfather. See my cap now. It's a grandfather cap. The fireside chat. Let me talk my duties.
Sorry, continue.
We have people like, we have these people who met Ice Prince, M.I. Abaga. I mean, these are people that we talk to. We call them now. They will answer.
Yeah.
Brian just connected to Baba Idris.
Area father,
the man who sang Nigerian Jaga Jaga. Yeah. So as small as we are, we have some small connect that we can say this is our brother from Cameroon. I beg, Oga, if you just listen to them. I mean, we can do this. So please, let's support ourselves. It's not just that we want to say we want to sell Topo Spaces. We want to sell Topo Spaces now. But in the process, you self go gain.
It's a win-win. It's win-win. Yeah.
This t-shirt I'm wearing, Topo Spaces, was made by KD. This t-shirt, Barista Hawa Shekero, who's the chairman
I will share the picture.
The Bar Association of Abuja. Yeah. You can hear me live, I'm saying it.
I will share it.
The guy that is making it, you can hear me. You guys can come to this show and counter it if I'm lying. So, I mean, these are platforms that we can come and just push ourselves small. We'll get there.
The thing is, it's most of those people who behave like that are actually ignorant. It's out of ignorance, and because they don't understand how the business works. You understand? I mean, I'm for those who, how life works generally. You understand? How life works. For people who know me.
That's her.
So this is Barista. Yeah, so she's actually the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association in Abuja. We wrote to her before she appeared on the show, told us a story, and I learned a lot, man. I have a lot of gray hair just from this show, just listening to wise people talk. So she spoke, and then it was really an amazing experience. And we also had Shehu Sani, a senator. He even told us that Aijo, when he left Cameroon, he was in Southern Kaduna. He was there before leaving. Yeah, so we have all these people, and they watch and they follow. So that's why Isaac and I too have been trying most times to bring our Cameroonian brothers and sisters just to come and talk. And to me,
Brian, you remember we wanted to bring a Cameroonian artist to come and produce gospel music with
that's the story. That's the story that I was saying. Let me say it. So I will say it now. Okay.
Jules, let me report it. Okay, you want to report it to
yes,
so that
because
Raoul, so that you guys will hear firsthand.
Yes, because
Arome will probably be listening, and the artist knows himself. Please let me say it in my way.
It's not the artist, and that's why I'm saying that. Let me say it because I followed up. Here in the States. So Jules and Raoul. So we brought Arome here. Arome is a gospel singer. There are many songs that we sing in churches that Arome composed it, but people don't know that it's him. You see, like the guy's songs just come out of him, like gospel songs. So he came here, and he's Isaac's schoolmate. So he's someone that sang to presidents before, and he's always having shows around. So he wanted to make an event. He's a writer. He organizes events to help widows and people. So he had an event where he would feed 33 widows and stuff like that. So he wanted to also, there was a concert as part of that event. So before that, Boytak was on this show. So thanks Boytak for appearing. So Boytak asked us how can he penetrate Nigeria. So I was laughing and I told him that, okay, you want to, that one way is to collaborate with someone in Nigeria. We can link you up with someone. He said, okay. I sent Arome a text and Arome replied and he was very happy. We organized the whole project. Topo Spaces we actually supported with money, you see. So then I asked Boytak and he said this is record label that can make such decisions. He too was kind of excited about it, although it was a gospel thing, but I told him that no, your story itself is something that is like a gospel. You see, so your story itself can make you to participate there. So I called this record label. I think he presented it to them. I called this record label. They didn't pick. I called again. I think they're here in Maryland. I called again the next day.
They're in America.
Yes. I called again the next day. One guy picked and he said he would call me back. He didn't call. And I pushed Boytak a little. He said this is record label. So, and that's how that happened. Arome, the event was very successful. You see. So, mostly that was an opportunity for a Cameroonian to go to Nigeria and go and perform. You see, but look at what happened. Yet I see people on Facebook saying a Cameroonian cannot go and perform in Nigeria. There are people, there are artists, even in Salatel, what are these other guys? Wax Day, all of us. I write to those guys. I write to those guys almost every day. It could be them that will go to Nigeria with maybe Idris or maybe with Area Father. Area Father knows Wizkid, people like that. You see what I mean? So, and that's what really used to frustrate me about this whole experience, because like we're speaking about media and the rest, Topo Spaces is running from this basement, but it's therapy to me and it's a way for me to give back to my community, you see. But when I even try to reach out, I don't even have that. So anyway, I just want to tell that story so that you yourselves can see what it is that we're going through in the background too.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to those kind of stories, and
me too.
Basically, it's ignorance, and it's systemic. It's a typical Cameroonian thing when you enter an office, people, customer service is pretty substandard. People don't really care. People are nonchalant. People are lackadaisical. So it's systemic. It's a systemic thing. You understand? So, and people, unfortunately, people have carried it into show business. The world of business is about snapping opportunities that come your way. So if you don't train your mind to be able to discern opportunities that come your way, then you're in the wrong place. You understand? Some people have trained their minds just to figure out money. If it's not money, they're not interested.
Yeah, right.
But money is just a byproduct of value.
Yeah,
that's what money is all about. Money is not the money that someone's giving you. It's about creating value. Somebody might come to you and he's proposing a project of value. You understand? So if you don't pay attention, you might lose a very important deal or a very important event, something that might be a turning point to your career.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell young managers, especially I don't blame the artists. It's majorly management and record labels. It is their job to discern or fish out the various opportunities that come their way. So if they don't train themselves to be able to treat people nice, to be able to respect and appreciate the various stakeholders that come their way, then it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I see. And then just on the side, another experience, and there's this manager that I had met for one of our artists. Actually, I reached out to the artist sent me to the manager. So I was like, oh, thank you, at least you even replied. So I went to the manager, and the manager first kind of dribbled me in a way that she would get back to me, and then just disappeared. And then after a while, we tried to get in touch again, and she said, okay, what date? I gave a date, and I said, please send me like the picture and kind of a short bio. And the manager said, no, that's not right. That if I ask that, it means I don't know the artist. So I said that that's not really the case. Sometimes when we write things, they themselves come and say, change it. So just give me the thing I want.
Yeah,
But you used to tell me to change. She said, no, don't do it like that. And then she's advising me. I said, okay, thank you very much. We have hosted senators, we've hosted people, lawyers. We asked them, they sent it. So they don't even argue. So thanks, I've learned the lesson. And immediately when I said that, she sent it. But it was almost some sort of a kind of move that, like, if I have to look at it, I try not to really be American. Like, if I try to look at it with like the American mindset.
It was an awkward move. That was an awkward moment.
Yeah.
So Oga Raoul, you I mean, sir. I heard you mention that that you are a radio presenter or something, sir.
I used to be, actually.
Okay. You know, okay, you used to be. You still have connection there. It's still your industry. Yeah. So this is now our responsibility to go out there and begin to talk about these things so that our younger brothers can have this education. Because what Jules identified it as a customer, whatever relationship.
Customer service, yeah, relationship. Yeah, it's very important.
So we need to begin to educate our probably it's out of ignorance, honestly.
It's ignorance.
I mean, even I myself, when I had my show on the radio, my show was like, it was Southwest Music and Fashion. You will call up somebody whom we want to put on air, and the person wouldn't pick up the phone. I will call you, like, you have an interview in 30 minutes, and where are you? You wouldn't pick up the phone. And calls you 30 minutes later that I was sleeping. Like, I had that before. I was like, you are sleeping when you have an interview, and you're a young artist, you have an interview in 30 minutes time on probably the biggest radio station in the Southwest, and you are sleeping, and you call me back later and say, I'm sorry, but I was sleeping. And that was it. So it's I've had that experience too. So yeah. I don't think it's a Cameroonian thing, actually. I think it's not like every Cameroonian is like that. I think there are certain individuals who haven't yet understood what they are really getting themselves into. As you did mention, that some of them don't have that music background. For the most part, it's not really something they're passionate about. It's just like probably for the cloud, that they are musicians, that they have songs. So somebody who really isn't passionate about this music thing is going to do that thing. It's going to, like, you understand. So, and some of them are wanna be, like, you have people who want to be an entrepreneur. Yes, want to be a manager. Like, probably have a few $100, $1,000, and you say, okay, I'm an artist manager, and you feel you're having artist money, you are immune to corrections, you are immune to suggestions, you are immune to basically everything, because you believe that, okay, I have the money, I have the brain, I know what I want, which for the most part, you don't absolutely know what you want. So I don't think like a Cameroonian thing. It's just like money meets road. We call it money meets road.
I think it's a Cameroonian thing. You know why? And I can
systemic.
prove it.
It's systemic. It's a Cameroonian thing.
Yeah, when I say I just mean like one aspect. I don't mean the definite. You see what I mean? So because Cameroon, and I always put myself in those shoes and think, and then I conclude. So Cameroon was a very nice country. Like, we grew up, we had good schools. Cameroon was peaceful. There was not extreme poverty in Cameroon. They could be in some areas, like, because they're normally outliers, but generally speaking, the country was just smooth. So it made it, we looked at life like just this stage that you just do your own thing, some kind of a laissez-faire kind of a way of doing things.
Yeah.
So now things got hard. From 2015, the civil war and those things, or the crisis that we had, it's made it, life is so hard that people now have to work, or they have to do something, and that's what life really is. But we're not brought up that way. So that's what I'm saying, it's a Cameroonian thing, because, like, man, I've met people from different countries and different places, and I've seen reports, I've seen things with the World Bank, I've seen things about countries, how they behave, how they do their things. It's very different from how we do it in Cameroon. So from that point of view, I think that there's a lot of room.
I think there's room for improvement. We need to change. We need to change on that. When you look at my wall, most of the time, the write-ups are right on my walls. I try to sensitize my brothers on having the right mindset. Development, first of all, it's a mindset thing. You understand? It's a mindset thing. I've always seen myself as a citizen of the world. That's why I try as much as possible to equip myself with as much knowledge as possible in my domain. So much so that when I stand in front of an American, I don't have any complex. If I stand in front of a Nigerian, I don't have any complex. You understand? So I try to look at how things work from a standard perspective. You understand? I think we stand to benefit a lot if we look at life beyond Cameroon. You understand? Yes. If we look at life beyond Cameroon, we'll treat each other better. And one thing I've learned with development in all
very true.
And it's unfortunate that politically our leaders and everything don't put us at the center of development. So we don't value human relationship, we don't value human input, we don't value people that much. So that is a problem that we have. So we need to fix that. So that's why I say it's systemic. It comes from the bigger system there, where you have leaders that are oppressing us, and now we the oppressed, we try to oppress each other whenever we have the chance to do so.
Suffering for me. So I'm happy, guys. I'm happy. Raoul and Jules, this is our report. Thank God that you guys already know about it. So please, you write it somewhere. I mean, in your business schedules, when you go to conferences, when you go to seminars, and you speak to these artists, you know, for we to liberate ourselves. Honestly, man, for we to liberate ourselves in Africa, I mean, we need to talk to each other that, come on, man, we need to have this artisanal change and all of that. Hopefully, you know, step by step. I mean, we'll turn things around. And again, Brian, I heard Jules says he writes articles and all of those.
Yes, he has some very stimulating posts.
I blog on my wall. I just blog on my wall.
Yes,
it's on my wall.
So now you're a global citizen. You've announced your citizenship now, you know, to the world. So the world have heard you now. So we before now we had a complete, I mean, department where we print where we place articles, right, and write news stories. But Facebook, maybe they say, guys, they don't use our platform where they know they to submit money, so they close that down. But we're building our website. I'm just saying here that please, we'll appreciate it if you think you can send your articles.
We'll publish it,
so that we can also publish them on Topo's site. You know, so that not just Cameroon will benefit, Nigerians too also benefit, and our people in Sierra Leone.
And Raoul, actually, please, you used to write for Forbes and stuff like that. So yes, for Topo, we actually started working on the site, but I'm not really motivated to build something that I'm not quite sure. Like when I say sure, I mean if I don't know the modules and the features that I need, I get stuck easily. So if you're interested, we could connect and work on like developing almost like a module for news and blogs so that you can submit, Juice can submit. I love to write, man. Although I mostly do like math things now. Bitcoin. I love to write, man.
Raoul, I wanted to say this thing to Brian. You see, this thing that Brian has written, right? Is so important. But Brian, please, you know that you are writing to Africa. You know that you are writing to Africa. We are not all back. You need to look at how you have to break down those those brackets.
Brian
you have to write. Don't be Wale Soyinka. You know, it's Wale Soyinka. Wale Soyinka, he writes for the elites. Most people don't get to read it. You know, the people. So please,
Brian is not a communicator.
Water it down to a level.
Yeah, I'll try.
I mean, people can read, please.
I will need to go to school. I will learn it. I will learn from Raoul and Jules.
Something we're actually working on, like one thing like we realized in the tech space was there were very, I don't think there's any blog or if there's any that talks about Cameroonian tech.
Yes, very true. Yeah.
About media.
Yes.
Because we don't have where we can go. Like, so I know like two blogs.
Yeah.
Two guys who launch a blog that talks only about Cameroonian tech, Cameroonian entrepreneurship from Cameroon. So I think we can work on.
Okay, then we can connect then. Yeah.
And have ghostwriters or guest writers.
Actually, that's simple to set up.
There's none. I don't think at the top of my head I can't think of any.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can for spaces like not only entertainment but news.
It's everything.
Business, because we want to know like I think the first quarter of 20 already African status has raised $700 million already.
Wow.
Just this first quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to read from Le Monde magazine that there was a guy in Douala who is working on biocharcoal. Like he takes banana peelings and maize peelings and transforms them into charcoal. I was like, this guy just in Douala here, and there's no Cameroonian media. Yes, like how did I go to read him from French media? The French media outlet that a guy was doing.
Once again, we are coming back again to media. Yes, coming back again to media.
So I went to the guy and he was like the thing is, the guy actually had government support. Like he had the money he received to start his small factory was given to him as a grant by the government. But the thing is, there were very few media houses who were interested in somebody who was making biofuel.
Isaac, we're still talking about media again.
Something like revolutionary.
It is clear.
We don't sell our story. We have to learn to sell ourselves.
Yes, we have to learn to sell it by our own self.
Yeah.
And this is also to calling out Churchill. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'm just saying about spaces. We're talking about media, and spaces is already a media platform.
Yeah.
So we can.
I will develop it then.
Say you need this. You must be able to go out and do it. So suppose spaces is already a media platform where we'll not only help young artists to discover, but also help established artists to connect with each other. You need a very nice. You need a nice slogan. You need to get a nice.
I will develop it then. We can.
To all established artists, I keep telling them, do not forget to be human. Always remember you're a human being.
Yeah.
And fame will never last forever. And how you treat people when you're on top will determine how you get treated when you're down. Because fame doesn't last for long. It's just a period of time. After your career, it is the human relationship that you must have created that will sustain your livelihood. So it's important to treat people well, treat people good whenever you have the chance. Yeah. So, but most of these guys don't really know. They need coaching. They need constant coaching, and all that. So, so they need to be told what to do. Yeah, you understand. So I try as much as possible to give them a little word of advice to always make sure they have their feet on the ground whenever they are being contacted by people, because you never, even a small boy you're laughing at today or you're snubbing today might be the next big star. You understand? Yeah. So pay attention to people. It's important.
Yes.
People make you who you are, and people can bring you down. It's very important.
And you know, on that, let me summarize that too. Jules, when you started saying that, my mind was actually tickled, because today in the world, and especially in the tech space, there are people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars to do something called user experience. User experience just means making
user experience.
Making the thing to be human friendly, so that people can easily use it, people can have fun on it, and the more they spend time on it, that's how money is made. So I just thought I should add that.
Nice. Jules and Raoul, you guys have been so resourceful. I owe nobody apology to say that, since these are Cameroonian issues, Cameroonian music, Nigerian music, we've been trying to talk about it. I've never been able to hold on to something. I'm a practical man. We met one man. Brian brought a very interesting man here.
Father Bazi, Jules knows him actually.
So I've really hold on to something, and I'm going to hold it on every Cameroonian that comes on this show, whether you're a priest or you're a nurse, right? We need Africans to tell their story.
And we need to tell our stories. It's very important.
We need to tell our stories. We need to tell our bullshit, if you like, call it that way. We'll tell our bullshit our way, So I'm so happy. And just to tell you guys, Brian, we've been talking for how many hours?
2 hours. I think we've said enough for today, unless anyone has more. But me
and Brian, we can talk to you.
It's my hobby. It's my hobby.
Because it's therapeutic to us. Very soon we'll be very wise men.
I have gray hair, man. Like if I check my hair is really turning gray. I don't think I
didn't get that. You don't speak Hausa. How many years since I didn't speak Hausa? Jesus Christ.
I didn't speak Hausa.
I'm just saying that Pardon, Raul?
You don't fall your hand. You don't fall your hand.
No, he forgot it.
No.
You don't fall your hand. You fall your hand.
He don't fall my hand. He don't fall my hand. He don't break her. He don't break her. He don't break her.
No.
And Brian is trying to cover up for him that he forgot it. Well, I was just trying to. I was just trying to say, are there people that speak Hausa in Cameroon? I know there are a lot of Hausa people in Cameroon.
There's a community. In every town, you have a community. You have a community of Hausa people.
Even in Garwa, where Jules was, and where was.
Yes, so guys, man, this been an explosive episode.
Yeah.
And I would beg you guys that please copy this, get this link and share it so that to this can hear this wisdom coming from us. Every artist has to carry himself in a manner. You need to calm down. And carry yourself in a manner that will make God open doors for you. Africa, we don't inherit disrespect. All this sadism where this our government they push down for us, we're not going to allow make you control us. We have to turn it and put it in the positive manner. So you guys, man, this is the time that we leave out for, our people, in the house to just whatever you want to say that we didn't get to ask you guys, please, this is the time that
Thanks. Personally, I would like to just thank both of you guys. And though I was informed, the information was pretty short-lived, but I love the topic. I'm so passionate about the topic. So I told Brian I'll be part of the show. And it is important to push the right narrative out there because I see a lot of misinformation going out there, Cameroonians banning or clamoring for a ban. No, the word ban doesn't exist. Cameroonians are very friendly people. Yes. So that is what we're trying to tell the world. And let's there's nothing wrong being clamoring for nationalism. It's a very important denominator for any country. You understand, to develop, to see the light. For any country to become competitive on a global scale, people have to learn to be nationalistic first of all. Yeah. So that's what we're telling our brothers to do. Love yourself, cherish yourself, respect yourself, and the rest of the world will respect you. Control your narrative as much as you can. That's what we're saying.
Mashallah. Thanks.
Thank you, bro.
Very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. Very important.
So,
as I said, there's BBC for the UK, GTN for China, BBC, CNN, the US, TRT in Turkey, Press TV in Iran. So basically, Press TV in Iran. You have even Rai Italia in Italy. So you can expect. I mean,
Nigeria,
no one is under any obligation to like you. So if you don't play a drum, no man will dance at you. No man will dance at music. You don't play a drum. That's how the things are.
Mashallah. Thank you guys. From my own end, I am inspired to develop like the platform for Topo. If I really want to make Topo very open because this is almost like a production house for like activities. I mean, for streaming, even this podcast is a whole range of software that I use to produce this. You see, which if you've heard of OBS Studio, like there's a lot. We can connect later and I'll show you. There's a lot that can be done, but we cannot do something that people don't want. So so if we have that ecosystem, there's a lot that this itself can be transformed to. But the direct thing that I may have to engage in is the platform. I could start with just text. If there are people to submit quality articles, then we can put there. So we can connect again offline and see how we can develop the text section and see even in terms of incentives how we make money and share it and things like that. And then for artists and those that are interested in any kind of partnership, man, what I can tell you is, when you go to the club, you dance, then send your girlfriend to the person that you don't even know. He sends his own girlfriend, you both dance, you exchange back. When you're in the club, alcohol probably makes you do that. But the way business is today, we can actually make those kinds of moves and we all win. You see, so please, if you're an artist, reach out to us. We'd also try to reach out to you, but let's have that spirit of work. Let's try to work, and I think we'll make things happen. So that's that from me.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Mashallah. Isaac, anything from you?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Yeah. So
Thank you guys for having us.
yeah,
Thank you. I hope to see you guys soon.
yes, you will see them.
Definitely.
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
Respect, man.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Your consulate is in Boya, and you have there's a very big Nigerian residency area in Boya where you have consulate, workers, and other people. Everyone, how are you?
All right.
Shisham
Guys.
for me say. All right, Jules.
All right,
Thank you.
guys. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, guys. Let's connect later and continue with what we said. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Okay,
Have a
guys,
good
great,
one.
guys.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.